Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Attention.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this, right now.
Okay, so folks, we're waiting on forms to start. So we need one more member.
My work on camera
Your merch?
available at a coffee shop.
What? You
We need attendees, I can't see.
Is that for the laptop?
They are.
It is.
Yeah, put it in your presentation.
Oh,
It's.
They do, and they found a smaller one for me because they didn't want to sell them, and she brought it out the back, and I got it. And now she's like, okay, you know, because she brought it now, and I'm sorry.
I would.
You can have these, they have shoes in the store over at the coffee.
I am
Yeah,
too.
just
Right across the street.
So that's-
I go down and we have all kinds of great merch.
That's all for the back.
I'm gonna put one on the face.
That's a small and a large.
This one's for the 14-inch laptop.
Okay.
Let's do that.
And it's not.
Okay.
It matches your key.
Everybody, if I could have your attention, please. We are waiting on a quorum for the Georgetown Business Promotion Commission meeting. However, it is 8 o'clock, and so I want to go ahead and start this as a work session. And then if we have another member show up, then we will change into a commission meeting. So I'm going to call the Georgetown Business Promotion Commission work session to order. It's July 1st, 2026. It is now 8:01 a.m. We are located at Georgetown Town Hall, 404 6th Street, Georgetown, Colorado. May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman Kuhark,
Present.
Carrie Hagerman, absent. Craig Abrahamson. He is absent as well. Commissioner Boat,
In attendance.
Selectman Representative Huggins,
Here.
and then staff liaison Annalee Berner is in attendance as well.
The Town of Georgetown Business Promotion Commission is an appointed board that enhances the economic climate in Georgetown, Colorado through marketing events and community outreach. The commission's goals are to support business license holders and nonprofit organizations to operate successfully and to create a positive experience for visitors. All right, since it's a work session, do we have to approve the agenda?
I don't know, I
Okay.
mean, I don't think we technically can approve it. so
Yeah,
we don't-
yeah, because there's no one to vote. Okay, so let's just jump into it. Good point. Audience business, let's recognize folks in the audience since we have several. Members of the audience will have 5 minutes to present any matter of interest related to the business of the town that is not already on the agenda. Those attending virtually may use the chat feature. No official action may be taken at this time. I'm gonna go left to right. Sir, would you introduce yourself and tell us who you're affiliated with, where you live, and why are you here?
My name is Sam Hess. I'm one of the owners of Clear Creek Inn, located at 610 7th Street in Georgetown. I'm here to submit my name as a member of the business board.
Oh, right on. Okay, Sam, thank you very much. Okay, Angela, and next.
I'm Angela Messing. I'm one of the owners of Excellent Anderson. And I'm here just to run business in Georgetown.
Okay, right on. Okay,
I'm Keith Prosick with Georgetown Anomaly, and I think I'm on the agenda.
okay, great. The agenda that we haven't approved.
It's for the seal.
Oh, yeah, right on. Okay, we'll get to you then at
He's on
that
a
point.
steel, not Keith.
Yeah, okay. And then, Chris, can you introduce yourself?
Chris Topper, I'm not a local business owner, but I would like to get more involved, and I'm just here to see what this is all about.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everybody. We cannot do minutes approval since we don't have a quorum. We cannot appoint a vice chairperson because we don't have a quorum.
Kevin.
Yes,
We have.
those are,
Those are
yeah,
there, so
they're gonna be
those are
doing
guest
presentations. Okay. consideration of appointment to commission, I think we have to table that too. So let's get to ACTZ presentation.
Yeah, so I will introduce, well, Tyler and Elliot, they approached the town about a possible collaboration effort for an app that they are in the process of developing. I have kind of briefed them on the facts that, we're not budgeted for this, but we can consider it for future, budget proposals. Also that the commission, will kind of drive the guidance of this. And so Tyler, Elliot, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, no, we can hear great. Can you hear us?
Yes, perfect. So if you guys just want to take it away.
Yeah, for sure. I could start first. So my name's Elliot, one of the co-founders over here at Axe. We approached Anna Lee, like she said, a few months ago, and what we're doing is we're talking with a lot of towns across Colorado about how they're able to reach audiences and be able to engage and attract folks. And what we've been able to do over the last few years is build an app where cities all their businesses can sign up. People that come through the town can build their own personal itineraries, and there's a way to be able to collect, track, and manage visitors as they come through. Imagine if someone said they wanted to come to Georgetown and they enjoyed certain activities and hobbies, and this app was able to spit out an itinerary with all of your businesses, activities to do, and be able to drive them through what they could do in Georgetown. So you could retain more folks that come to town and then be able to have them generate more revenue for your town as well. I'll pass it over to Tyler here really quickly, but we have a nice little quick presentation to kind of give you an overview about what we do and how we do it.
Yeah, so my name's Tyler. I'm the leading founder of Axe. And yeah, I've been guiding people all throughout Colorado. I just love the outdoors, and I noticed that Georgetown, is a very big hotspot. Usually I bring all my guests there, and there's so much to see. And after talking to Anna Lee, it really seems like there's a kind of a gap in the market. So we kind of curated a presentation for you guys, and are going to present that now. So Elliot, if you want to pull that up.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone, great, make you into a meeting now?
Yes,
Are you all able to see this shared screen right here?
yes, gentlemen, can you hang on just a second? This is Kevin, the chairman. We
Yeah.
have another member of the commission joining us, and so we are now going to move into the Georgetown Business Promotion Commission meeting, out of a work session into a meeting. All right, welcome, Craig. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, it got away from me.
That's okay, understandable. Okay, gentlemen, go ahead and continue your presentation.
Wonderful, thank you. Tyler, you want to kick us off with the first slide?
Yeah, so there's tons of people that pass on I-70, and really our main goal is to get those people to take the exit and visit Georgetown more. Really explore the businesses that you offer. And with our platform, your businesses will also be able to host live events. And as people are driving on the town, people can get nudged to get off, and it's really personalized per user. And so when you sign up in the app, you'll be able to put your interest, what activities, what dates you're going. And yeah, goal is to get off onto Main Street and visit Georgetown.
Great. Yeah, so we're going to tell you guys a little story, right? We're going to give you three perspectives. Imagine that there's a Saturday in June, and there's a visitor named Maya Rivera. She's 24. She wants to take a trip to Georgetown. She likes hiking, history, and wants to spend under $150. And that's what she's thinking of doing. And then we have a local business owner, Marco Alvarez, who's also on the app. They own a Main Street diner. They want to find a way to generate more folks coming by their diner, and they recognize that they miss a lot of people as they drive through I-70. And then the city of Georgetown as well has a story, right? You all have a historic Main Street. We want to make sure we can get some overnight stays and increase the amount of revenue that people spend while they visit town. So we're going to tell this story from kind of three different lenses and how we can benefit these three different stakeholders.
Yeah. So this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier. This is just kind of more of the analytics. But yeah, so according to kind of historical data, you have about 250,000 people passing Georgetown. And, just to preface too, these numbers might not be 100% accurate, but 1 out of every 50 cars, stop by. And our goal is to increase that number and to nudge people to visit Georgetown more based on their interest, and to stay longer, and to perhaps convince them to maybe even stay at night, and increase their total spend in Georgetown.
Yeah. So one thing that's going on right now with a lot of people that are traveling is they may not stop by Georgetown or by other small cities or other cities that they go by because there's no real plan, right? They don't know what they would do in Georgetown. They're not sure what they would do in other cities. So they just drive on by. And we know that, like Tyler said, that there are a lot of folks that may be doing that. But what if there was a way to be able to incentivize people to be able to come to Georgetown because there was a plan, there were action items, and they had a whole day or multiple days to be able to understand, hey, what can I do here? And what we could do when that person comes to town is you can promote all of your business owners so that that's what they'll participate in, whether it is a certain activity, whether it's a certain type of food venue, whether it's an event. We can plan all this around visitors. If Georgetown had their own, essentially think of it as a Georgetown app where people can access and then find things to do.
Real quick, can you just go back one section? I just wanted to add, we put a very big emphasis on the itinerary creation. So every person has different interests, different activity levels, and you're going to be able to track what people have already done. So it's a fresh batch, so that if they visit Georgetown once, and are driving by Georgetown a second time, everything's fresh and it's very personalized per user. We've implemented sharing features, so one person can turn into 8 by sharing their itinerary to friends. But yeah, you can go to the next slide.
Go for it, Ty.
Yeah, so these are kind of our core features. And like I said earlier, when the visitors sign in, they build a profile, they put what their interests are, and then when they're logged in, they go through kind of a booking flow. So they put the dates they're visiting, the who they're going with, the locations they want. And then, for example, like if somebody wanted to do hiking, liked a certain type of food, and wanted to stay in an Airbnb, it would then generate that itinerary, and then they would be able to do an all-in-one booking through the app.
Yeah, and like Tyler said, not only can an individual get an itinerary that they'll be able to build on their own through the help of AI or through different algorithms that you all help set up, she can also invite her friends. So not only will she be attending, but let's say she has 4 or 5 other friends and they want to turn her solo Saturday trip into a 5-person group weekend. Through the application, she can invite all of her friends, create polls, do group bookings, and that's really how we can start seeing Georgetown fill up by creating this rolling effect that can roll everyone up into these larger groups.
Yeah, and so another key feature that we've embedded. So you guys have a visit Georgetown site. So you can kind of think of this storefront as that on steroids. So you'll have multiple tabs for your activities, events, which is plugged in with Ticketmaster API. We also have integrations with like Eventbrite because we know small businesses use that. We have all trails, so all trails that are offered in Georgetown, all campsites, and so it's, as you can see in the video recording, it's basically one hub that has everything that Georgetown offers.
And then one other great thing that we can do is we can look at real-time data. So as people visit Georgetown, we can get a greater understanding of where are people going, what are the activities that they're doing, where are they spending their money. And then we can take those trends, and then that can inform our businesses and the city on how we want to go about marketing to these folks, how we want to increase revenue for certain businesses, what events are really tracking people. So rather than looking at historical data that's fragmented, we can have it all centralized, and we can really get an understanding of where everyone's coming from, what it is they're doing, how much they're spending. And that could be really informative to you all as you guys make your future decisions and you have these types of meetings.
Yep. So this is just kind of a breakdown of kind of like our key differentiators of using a PDF versus a typical online travel agency like Expedia or TripAdvisor. We're really a one-stop shop. So we're really integrating everything that Georgetown offers with real-time data and a local inventory that you guys are able to manage and host live events, or you guys could even make your own itineraries and promote those. But yeah.
Yeah. And then, right, the goal is real value to everyone that it touches. To the visitors, they get these personalized itineraries based to exactly what it is that they want to do with the exact budget that they have. They can book directly with you all, so they're not going through another travel site where they're trying to figure things out and pay over cost. It's one app, everything's centrally located, so it's really simple for visitors to eat, to hike, to visit, to purchase. They can also do group planning. Then for our Main Street businesses, you all will be featured in those itineraries. So whoever from Georgetown, you all want to be involved in that. As someone shows up to the town, says, hey, this is what I want to do, you will be baked into what it is that they will be doing. Also, we have lower fees than other OTAs. You can have storefront and checkout directly on the application. Your Eventbrite and other events will be front focused. And then you can own that guest relationship as well. How nice would it be if you were able to track all the people that went into your business, and then you could reach out to them on an email campaign or through notifications in the app when they stop back by, or if you have other events that you want to invite them to. And then for the city, one of the great benefits is that Georgetown will get promoted in general by people utilizing the application. And then people can book stays in the town. And then also, we could even brand the Visit Georgetown hub so that this app feels like it's a Visit Georgetown application. You'll get longer stays, fuller weekends, and then real-time visitor data that you're able to own. Yeah, and more or less, this is kind of like our larger pitch. We'll open it up here for questions. Yeah, we appreciate you guys taking the time and seeing what we've been working on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Tyler and Elliot. This is Kevin again. I do have some questions. So one is about impact to town staff, Anna Lee in particular. How much workload would be added to her to, you know, create content or feed it to you? Does she build out the app, or do you guys build out the app? How do you get her information?
Oh yeah, no, the app's built out. So we would work with you all to be able to onboard businesses onto the app. Like as of today, we have an AI itinerary where if we wanted to right now, you put in your preferences, your age, hiking level, whatever it is that you want, and we can spit stuff out today. Tyler's already done a phenomenal job with a lot of the back end on that. What we would really need assistance with is what businesses would like to participate. How would the city like to engage and participate? Because believe it or not, large majority of stuff about your town we can find through Google Map APIs. We could just find through Visit Georgetown, which we've already done. So believe it or not, the lift actually wouldn't be that heavy. Now we would need some input because we want to make sure that it's the way that you all want it. But it wouldn't be like we're building from scratch by any means.
So how quickly could something like this go live? Like, 6 weeks of input and review, 6 hours?
I'll pass that over to Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah, it's We would really want, so if you guys are interested in moving forward, we would basically want to consult you. Of course, not all features are, we're still working on many features. We do have a roadmap of all the features we would like to get listed. But we'd essentially sit down with you, what features are most important to you, and then come up with a roadmap. And you know, it could be as early as like 4 weeks. It could be as late as 12 weeks. As far as what you guys need help with and what features you want to highlight.
Okay. Does it cost the visitors to have this app? Do they purchase the app or is the app free?
The app is free for visitors.
Okay.
And then since we are using AI, we're going to do a credit-based model. So users will get limited amount of free credits, and then once those credits are depleted, then they can kind of purchase more. But we anticipate that visitors won't need to do that unless they're, you know, traveling like every day and using the AI, because, you know, AI costs money. So we just want to make sure that we get those costs taken care of.
How do we communicate that this app exists to potential visitors and regular visitors?
Yeah,
I can
Elliot,
take
you
that
want
one,
to take
Tyler.
that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So there are multiple modalities. The first one is we're starting to launch this in several pilot cities across Colorado, and that's why we approached Anna Lee. We've been reaching out to several different towns, trying to figure out, hey, does this seem of interest? Does this appear of value? Because we want to work with some early stakeholders and pilot groups to be able to see how we can help increase traffic. So I know that didn't answer your question, but first way is we are working with multiple municipalities. So people that will download the app will be able to see other towns and events that they can visit through there. But we do recommend that cities also promote the app as well. Whether you put it on local buses, you put it on billboards as people are driving by. I know I've seen Visit Georgetown ads. I believe at DIA when I've gone flying. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a different town, so I apologize. But wherever you all are currently placing ads, like this is the modality to be able to get someone's attention and have them come and visit so they can already have everything pre-planned. So we know Anna Lee does a lot of the marketing, work with her and talk about, hey, what are different ways that we can incentivize people to come to Georgetown through the app, and then how do we reach those eyeballs? So we'll work with you all to think about different campaigns and how to reach folks.
Yeah, and just to add on to that real quick, another channel, so you guys know all the pamphlets that are usually at the hotels that you guys have in Georgetown. It's like all the things to do, the tour operators. So another thing we can do is we would just have like a little QR code, and we would put it in all your businesses, all the hotels, and then that way when people are visiting, they scan that, and at their fingertips they have everything that is offered in Georgetown, so they can get the exact itinerary seamless. And instead of spending 3 hours trying to figure out what they want to do, they just scan the QR code and spend 60 seconds, book their itinerary, and they're good to go.
Is this a very competitive market? Do you have competitors? And if so, can you tell me who they are?
No, from the research we've done, we don't have any competitors that are doing like the all-in-one booking, itinerary management.
From the city lens, that's our big differentiator.
Yeah,
no one is going to towns, and that's where we ended up shifting what we were doing. Because if you think of like AllTrails, if you're familiar with AllTrails, right? Like they are an adjacent competitor. Then obviously you have Airbnb experiences, right? And you have Expedia. But the big differentiator that we have is that we're trying to, instead of they focus primarily just on the visitor, right? And it's very bottom up approach. And what we learned was that cities, towns, municipalities, and states, their tourism departments don't have that opportunity to participate in that other than a bottom up approach. So that's where we inverted the way that we're reaching our guests, our visitors. So at the moment, there's no other group that is going directly to cities, municipalities, and towns. Now, there are, like I said, adjacent competitors. But at the moment, we're the only ones that are coming in and working directly with towns, to our knowledge, based off our research.
And I have one last question. Can you tell me who your other town clients are?
So we're talking in pilots right now. We are talking with Idaho Springs, And then we're also chatting with Glenwood Springs.
Glenwood
So-
Springs and Grand Lake.
and Grand Lake. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And we're just in early pilot discussions. Nothing has been like we're in the same state where we're at right now because Tyler and his team have been working really hard getting the app done, and we wanted to make sure that we had it ready at a baseline before we went out and pitched. And that's where we're at now. And then trying to get participation people on the platform. So we already have some early beta testers, but that isn't a full town by any means. So now we're ready to take it to the next level.
When will the app be ready for the marketplace?
That's what Tyler alluded to earlier. So within 4 weeks, based off a conversation, the feature set that you all need, we can build it all in and it could be ready to roll.
Okay, okay, thank you, fellas. Commission members?
Yeah, I'll go next, I guess. Are you, have you been working with OEDIT and, the Colorado Tourism Office? Because they do have an itinerary builder, and I'm wondering if are you in with them at all?
So we have not gone to the state yet. Tyler, I'll pass it over to you though.
I was just having trouble hearing him a little far away, so I didn't quite get what he was
I'm
asking.
wondering what your collaboration level is with the state so that you can plugged in statewide to combine these itineraries so that people can plan a long-term trip in the state.
That is our full intent, and we want to land some smaller cities first to be able to prove out our proof of concept, and then our intent is to go statewide. And that's where earlier when you guys asked like how long would it take to get all the businesses on, like we already have all the APIs using Google Maps and looking at city websites, etc. And that is the intent to get there. But before we go and pitch that, we want to make sure that we have solid grounding and numbers with a lot of different cities that are succeeding.
So that means that you don't have any embedment, but you're not embedded anywhere yet. So that this is just sort of an organic way to get to your app. We have to actually push your app out forward with the QR codes and the advertising and everything else for use, correct? So at this point, we're not even rolled out yet. So one would have to seek you out rather than just for it to be organic. Okay. My next question is, but I think this is the thing. The reason I asked about the state is because of funding, and when you're working, when we would work, because we're such a tiny town, we would have to collaborate with different businesses, organizations in order to figure out who has their focuses and where they want to go in order to keep the burden of cost off of just the town itself. And then if we could, when you have a statewide organization, then we might be open to getting grants from OEDIT in order to push this forward, because it benefits the entire state rather than just a group. So have you thought about funding programs or, and I know things are expensive, but if you're looking at charter organizations to work with you, have you thought about offsetting their costs during the first rollout period so that we're not taking the burden of risk and your company is, or someone else, or if you can find another sponsor to do that, so that the burden of risk isn't on the group that's trying to get the sports, that we're not advertising you as well as ourselves. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, totally. And we've definitely looked at all of those avenues based off of talking to different folks from the state and then talking to different organizations. It seemed like it made the most sense to start with cities, get that proof of concept, get users on the platform, and then from there go for the larger play. And that's why we're here today. Now, if you all have a greater relationship with the state or one of those departments and you all want to go in on a grant together, we would be more than happy to look into co-writing, going in on something together by all means. But this is kind of just the beginning, tip of the spearhead, where we know we can reach towns that may have a need for what it is that we're presenting. And that's where we're at today.
What we need to do is talk to the 3 towns that you're trying to get recruited, because if we were all together and trying to work together on it, it might be a little easier. Because one of my stumbling blocks in this, because I think it's a wonderful idea and I think that it's exactly what is necessary and what we're trying to do. My stumbling block is it's hard enough for us to afford, and with human resources as well as financial resources, to advertise ourselves, let alone build your company up in the beginning so that you can actually have a financial model in the end. So you're starting with you get 4 uses for free, like a lot of apps, and then there's a pay at the end model. And so what we're doing is helping you build that pay at the end model, but our end game is to get people here, but we don't have that free use portion of it. And so that's why that's my only stumbling block with something like this, because we neither have like I said, the human resources or the financial resources to make that kind of leap without seeing something secure already. And so, anyway, I'd love to see what you guys have in the future, but those are my questions, those are my thoughts. Thank you very much. Great, it's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Craig?
Since Paul brought up costs, what are the numbers? And I apologize if I missed that part of the conversation.
No, you're good. It would all be dependent on the feature set that you all would want, but because you all would be a pilot group, you all would be, in our opinion, on a lower scale for sure. So starting would be around like a $10,000 license fee. And that would just be us setting up, giving you the AI credits. And then depending on the amount of visitors, we would then have a metric thereafter, where it's like if you exceed this amount, then we will bill based off that. And we can obviously turn it off at any time and reduce feature sets to be able to reduce costs. It could be anywhere from 10, 20 up to 50,000, depending on how feature rich we're providing to you all. But for the most part, like just the AI itineraries, getting businesses on the platform, being able to engage with events, which would be kind of the baseline at around that 10,000 mark, that would be our license fee for our pilot customers.
And when you say getting businesses on board, that 10,000 allows individual businesses access to in Georgetown, access to the platform. Is that how that
Yep.
works?
So we would actually go personally, and each tier has an X number of businesses that Elliot and I would go in person and onboard each business, show them how to use the platform, how to create an event. It's very easy. We don't really have to do that because it's going to be so easy for them to log on and very intuitive. We spend a lot of time.
But we are gonna
UI.
onboard everyone, Tyler. Everyone will get onboarded.
Yeah. Really it's kind of taking all the weight off you guys, getting them onboarded, so they can drive more traffic to their businesses.
And they'll be on
And-
every itinerary too, Craig. So that's kind of the big thing, right? Itineraries and events. They'll be on every itinerary if it's based off the intent of the traveler. And then if they're hosting an event, that will be then promoted and they can then recruit people to show up, and they can even pay through the app if they want.
Okay. Is this, I'm trying to imagine how we push this out to our visitors or potential visitors. Is that on us to, as you guys build this? And I'm all about, being in early on something that could potentially, I like the notion of giving visitors a single place to visit. We've talked about for years, and I've just never gotten around to it, doing a kiosk down here at Cabin Creek, and basically just a video kiosk, right? And it's just sitting there scrolling through, and every screen's got a QR code on it, and you're like, oh, hey, that looks like a cool hike. Boom, you hit the QR code, it takes you to the Rutherford Trail or what have you. I kind of see this in that light. The question is how we push it out to visitors and existing customers, which, it's like building it's going to take some time, obviously, for it to get some traction with our guests. Is there any direct interaction between your app and various businesses' social platforms or the town's social platforms? Is there any logical tie there? Let's say somebody posts an event on the app. Can that be fed to social platforms or vice versa? Or is it basically repeating the same function? Because obviously, where we spend a lot of our time and money locally as a community and in my particular business is we drive our traffic through social media. If we're repeating with the app what we're already doing on social media, it kind of goes to Paul's point about workload and economy. Is there any interaction between the app and social channels?
Yes, there's interaction. So any event you post, there's a quick link where you can share to a story, share to your page. But yeah, that's the exact problem we're trying to kind of spearhead, is have one integrated platform that then outreaches to everything. So I don't know if you've heard of like Meetup or Partyful, but we want to be integrated with those. So yeah, it's a one-stop shop for all integrations. And then during the consultation meeting, we would kind of focus on which ones you are using more. That way we can highlight those during the onboarding process for your businesses.
Tell me a little bit about the back end. And again, I apologize if I stepped out for a second. What analytics does the app provide us? I know you alluded to it, Elliot, a little bit, but
Mhm.
can you be more specific about what those analytics look like?
Yeah, so we can provide the emails of everyone that signed up and attended. So that creates an automatic email list right off the bat right there, which is really nice, right? Because then we're talking about marketing and outreach. Imagine if you captured every visitor that came through Georgetown utilizing the app. So that right there, you'll be able to capture the individual that shows up. If they use the app, you'll be able to see what they did. You'll be able to, if they paid through the app, you'll know how much they paid, and then you'll be able to know how long they stayed. So you'll really get a whole idea of this individual and persona. Also, will have demographic information as well when they sign up. So you'll get a pretty rich idea. Let's say we had 500 concurrent people using the app on a Saturday and a Sunday. If they were using the app, you would know where everyone went, what their itineraries were, if they spent through the app, how much money they spent through the app, and then when they left. So that would be
How
pretty
much
good information.
and how is it tracking? How is it tracking where they are and how much they spent?
So, well, once again, it all depends how much they're utilizing the app. Where they went would be, we could look at the itinerary. And then also if they have location data on as well, we could be able to look at that. And then if you want to know at how much they spent, so one thing that we've done a good job of is if you all are familiar with Fair Harbor or other types of platforms that allow people to sign up for activities, that's built into the platform. So when I sign up for my itinerary, and let's say one of my things is floating down the creek, and they're doing that through Fair Harbor, they can pay through the app and we can see how much money it is that they're spending. If restaurants want to track, hey, we want to know if people are buying stuff through the app and what's going on, you could put stuff that people could purchase through there. Probably just easier that you just do your normal point of purchase at the cash register. But depending on the business, we could see how much people spend based off what you want to integrate in the app and what you don't want to.
So it's
Yeah,
got
and we're
geolocation capabilities, but it doesn't have, it's not grabbing like credit card data and things like that.
no, we're integrated with Stripe. So
No, we
Stripe
can.
is, yeah, Stripe is already integrated. That's what's grabbing the credit card data. We don't store any of like the card information. Of course, Stripe does that, but yeah, all payments are done through Stripe for events that are hosted on the Axe platform.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Thank you.
hotels, travel cars, like you could do it all through the app if you want to.
Mike,
Thanks.
do you have any questions?
No, I'm just exploring the website right now.
Okay, all right. Emily, do you have any comments?
I think moving forward, I'll send you guys an email with any questions that the commission members send me, but if you guys could provide us with more of a laid out financial piece for us to
Yep.
kind of look at and for them to review, that would be the next steps for consideration.
Great. Yeah, we can send that over for pricing. And then from you all in that email, would you all mind like figuring out, hey, what are the core things? And once again, these don't have to be like, if we don't have the feature set, we'll tell you. But what are like the core things that you would want in just like a baseline application and what would be like nice to have? That would really help us in our pricing back to you all. Like, hey, these are the core things we need. These are the things that would be nice to have. And once you guys have those, we can just send over a more accurate pricing sheet. That would be
Sure,
helpful.
but, yeah, I'm sorry.
Of course.
And on that note, I would like to see a full pricing structure. So what you plan to offer, everything you plan to offer, and how you plan to charge for that. I would also like to see how you plan to offer that to the public and how you plan to strive to process that pricing. So how many uses they get before you start your pricing portion? If you started their payments, sorry, you know what I mean? And then what their little additions are, because you said there were some additions that they can get into for different things. And then also what your integrations are now, I would like to see what those are. And then what your outreach is, I just like to see the full thing. And I would also like to see your roadmap for rollout and your timeline on the rollout. And then where you are with the other towns, because I'm very interested to see where they are with this in the same thing. And I'll make outreach to someone to Idaho Springs, and I'll see if I can call the tourism at Glenwood Springs to see what they think too. It's a brilliant idea. Thank you very much for presenting to us.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
fellas.
thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good
Thanks
day.
for your time.
Bye.
We're gonna take a half a step back, and now that we have quorums, let's go ahead and do minutes approval. Could I have somebody move to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, second.
Mike second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, upcoming events discussion. Annalee, you're in the hot seat.
Do we want to go back and consider
What is this?
the Sam and
Oh, okay, we can do that.
Margaret?
Oh, we can vote. Okay, so let's go back to oh, we can actually start at the top of the agenda now. We
Yeah.
just did number 3. Let's go back to number 1.
We have to vote on the agenda.
Oh, yeah, do we want to approve the agenda?
I moved, we approved the agenda. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, correct, yes, okay. Number 1, appointment of vice chairperson. So we were able to fill the vacancy of chairman in our last meeting, of course, and that's me. And so we still have a vacancy for vice chairman. Are there any interested commission members?
I'll do it. I love being vice chair.
Okay,
You don't have to do anything.
okay. Any other people interested in that position besides Paul Boat?
Craig, you wanna be vice chair?
You're muted.
Like the honor of being vice chair?
I don't have, yeah, I'd be happy to. I don't have strong feelings one way or another.
Okay,
Wow, it's a runoff.
okay. So wait, this never happens.
I know. I nominate Craig as vice chair. Can we do that?
All right,
We need a motion though.
yeah,
I move that Craig is vice chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
okay, any discussion?
Aye.
Okay, and can we vote? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
I'll be professional. I
Okay.
apologize.
Craig, congratulations, team.
Nay.
Yay. Okay, very good. Okay. Consideration of appointment to commission, so these are our actual guests in the audience here, and so, yeah, if you could take it.
Okay, yeah, so the clerk received interest notices from 2 individuals. We received one on June 17th from Sam at Clear Creek Inn. And then we received one on June 23rd from Chris, who are both in the audience today. So do you guys want to say anything or plead your case to the commission this morning?
Yes, Sam, why don't we start with you?
Sure. It's been a pleasure being part of this community and joining a mission like this and having a little bit of influence. Sounds like a logical step forward.
I think you would be a very important voice on this commission because you would represent lodging. And we've had some lodging presence on in the past, but not recently, so.
We actually do.
Who?
Carrie.
Oh, Carrie, yes. Okay, I stand corrected. Yes, oh, sorry, Carrie. And so, but no, welcome, because that's a huge component really for the whole town. Because if they stay with you, they're more likely to shop and visit other sites. Very good, okay. And then Chris, a word from you, please.
Yeah, I just would like to get more involved in the community. I've been here for many years. My previous job, I had experience overseeing events and promotions, so. I guess make a lot of do, but yeah,
Can you tell us who you did that for?
Monster Energy.
Very good, nice, okay. So what's the next step? I believe it's the
So we.
selectmen.
Yes, we would move
Yes.
to recommend that the Board of Selectmen approve them to be on the commission. And then the selectmen would vote at their next meeting, which would be on the 14th of July. And then from there, they would be active as of next month. Should,
Don't we get to ask them questions and drill them?
Sure, they're ready.
if you want to.
I'm very excited to have this. And you live in historic cabins, that's amazing.
Thank you.
I move that we recommend to the Board of Selectmen, that these 2 gentlemen become new members of the Business Promotion Commission.
Very appointed, thank you. Okay.
as amended.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Craig.
any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And so, who drafts that document? Who puts it on the agenda? Is that you?
Bridget, I will notify.
Bridget, okay, all right, staff will take care of this for us, okay. And then, once we go through that process, the town will notify you of their
Yeah.
decision, okay, great, okay, thank you, everybody. So, now. Are we ready for upcoming events?
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
good. No, don't
About
worry
to
at
know.
all. No, it's-
Just to let you know, the Sapathlon was canceled for Saturday, so those running that event have notified the town of that. So that event will no longer be taking place. Independence Day is this Friday. We did send notices out notifying the town of street closures and the parade routes and amplified sound. So that was taken care of. I believe everything is good for that. We do have the volunteer t-shirts came in, and then we also have the t-shirts that we're selling. This one's a little small, it's a child size. The proceeds from these will hopefully offset the cost of the volunteer shirts, 'cause we're not expecting volunteers to buy their shirts, and those ones are the red versions. But then also any proceeds from that will go back to Parks and Rec, things like the gazebo, stuff like that, that the town is not, was not expecting to have to pay for at the beginning of the year. Yes, so there's that for Independence Day. Do we have any questions on that? Does anybody need any?
Yeah, because I'm freaking out. You said it's Friday?
Saturday, sorry.
Thank
I misspoke. Thank you. Thank you for catching that.
I'm very happy to sell those in the gift shop and then return all the funds. I think we discussed that privately, but we're very happy to do that.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
going to expend my authority a little bit and call on somebody in the audience who has a comment. Angela, please.
Out of curiosity, why was, the platform canceled?
Due to personal reasons for the organizers.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Colorado Day, tell us about Colorado
Okay,
Day.
yeah, we are filling up with vendors for that day. We have some vendors that are very Colorado oriented and themed. We're finalizing performers right now, so if anybody has any interest in that. We do have the hotel, De Paris is sponsoring one of our performers for the day as well. So if anybody has any interest in that, we are looking for local businesses to get involved. So if there's something that we can, direct people to, in addition to the things that we're doing at Strauss and Sixth Street, we would really like to do so. All of our nonprofits are involved as well. And so we really want this to benefit our businesses, but then also highlight the uniqueness of our businesses and support their initiatives as well. From there, S'mores on 6th. We do have some dates open in July. And we don't have to necessarily decide this today, but I would like to see our commissions get more involved in that as well, and maybe have the commission sponsor our s'mores. And that way we can just kind of have more involvement from local government as well.
So you do that weekly, right? So
Yes.
that's a lot of staff and
Yeah,
a lot of sponsorship. Hotel Paris is going to do one on August 1st on Colorado Day, so we've taken one. But if there's anybody who watches this recording or is in the audience virtually or in person, if you have not sponsored one of these, I would strongly suggest that you do. It's great FaceTime with locals as well as visitors. It's great for brand building. It's hard to measure the impact. But you just need to have faith that it's a step in the right direction. And it's going to build momentum for whatever your business is. Angela, I'm gonna go ahead and spend more of my political cloud on you, and go ahead.
So, part of the day, we're getting business involved, but it's like an example, because I think we like to spread the word out to businesses of how to get involved, because that's gonna be the first question.
yeah, so there's a mixture of things, like the library is doing a craft that day for the kids. And so it would really depend on the business, if there's specials going on, we're happy to share those, stuff like that. But then also, if they want to host something specific, like I know Landmark 12 will be open that day, so we will be pushing back to that. So it really would depend on the business. But hosting something, or even, the town is expecting to have a booth down there, so providing more marketing materials, like they did at Slacker, which we'll talk about that in a little bit, but so it really depends on the business, but if they wanna get involved by providing us with marketing materials or giveaways to have, the town is happy to have that at our booth in Strauss. Or if they want to, host something that is specific to their business, a part of that event, we're also happy to direct traffic that way.
Okay,
May I comment?
Yes, absolutely.
It's funny because I was thinking that when you were thinking about that, I was like, oh, you know what, we need to be more direct about the approach and how we're asking. So can we meet offline, because I flake out if you're not direct with me, about like, Paul, I need you to do, because that's my other questions I've asked. I want to talk to you about how we can be better about directly asking, I want you to do this and this and this, so that it's not a lot of work for her, but we do like a little checklist, and I know you're very good at that. And that, because I realize that we're kind of new, so like, help us, let's help do this. And because we're all busy like this, and I know that I'm like that, if you don't tell me what you want, I'm not there, I forget, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do anything. But if you go, hey, Paul, I need you to specifically, I don't know, pick up chairs on the thingy, and I'm like, yeah, I have to do that, okay, fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and then the other thing is like, and I know this won't work, but I think once you get the actual, my brain's working, format done, then it's a shootout, right?
Yeah.
And, because the other one is like s'mores. I kind of want to do it, but I don't know what date to do it, and I could do it for the visitor center.
Yeah.
I could do it for, well, it's all the old school, but I could do it for GCAP, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd love to, I think it'd be fun, so if you kind of go do these dates and Paul, this is what we do, and if you remember, and then I can figure out my time and I can pick it up.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
So like, I'll meet with you, and then I'll meet with you, and then we'll figure out how we can actually make it so it's not a lot of work, but then also so that I don't feel like I'm a putz on these things.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
And I hope putz is not a slur.
like, I'm already happy to like find some local
Yeah.
person to be in our shop.
Because what I would love, which I haven't reached out to you, because on that day I have plein air. And I need volunteers. I have an evening event, and then I have the day they're all over the place, and we're trying to set up stuff, and then there's the other thing, and we need to market it, all, so.
All right.
Anthony?
Anything else about, Independence Day, Colorado Day, s'mores? Okay, let's go on to town seal creation discussion. It's Keith Prosick of Anomaly. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sirs and ladies. I lost my page.
It's okay, no pressure.
And George today.
Oh.
I bet you know the information.
So, I apologize for missing the last meeting. I was painting the community center and I totally forgot to come here. But based on the changes that Annalee gave to me from last, I have changed the font to be Bourbon font. And I've also changed the flag to be the Colorado flag. I've changed the year to be 1859. And we got rid of the train and I added a silver mining cart in that place, just to kind of keep the symmetry. The only things that I kind of feel like I still need to do with it is I want to make the band a little bit bigger so I can get the Georgetown, Colorado text to be a little bit bigger. Cause I feel like it needs to kind of come down a little bit more. And then, I feel like the clustering is too tight. And I want to kind of loosen that up a little bit, so it'll be a little bit easier to read, cause I think right now, if you shrink this down, it'll get, a little hard to see everything, so I wanna kind of clean that up. But other than that, I mostly wanted to kind of make sure that you were okay with the changes to like the flag, to the fonts, to the year, and taking the train into the cart. That's okay, so that I can move on to cleaning up the seal.
I think one of the issues we had last time is that the goat or the sheep looks kind of like the goat or European.
So I did
rather
change
than
that.
Rocky Mountain.
Is it better or is it still?
It's still the same thing.
No, it's not.
Well, it doesn't look like a Rocky Mountain Bighorn yet to me.
Okay,
And I think that it would behoove us.
what exactly on it? Cause
It's the shades of it.
I'm basing it off of a photo I took of a bighorn on Gunnell.
It's the shape. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you.
Oh, I know.
It's the shaping of the ears, it's the shaping of the horns that go out more than they go this way. The shaping of the face is thinner and then it has the lines coming down, which makes me think of more European ibex. It's beautiful, you know. I
Would
live
you
here.
mind sending me a photo of what you are thinking?
Sure.
Last time we talked about it's a little busy and it's not ever going to be, I mean, it might be printed this big sometimes. Is there something that we feel like we could just omit from it? Or do we still feel like it's too busy? Are we happy with where it's at? Is it when it's printed smaller? Is it going to be too busy with where we're at with all of the shading and the details? Would it help us to maybe have less shading, be more simplified? Do we still feel like it's too busy with just the changes?
At first, I can drop all mining aspects, it's not a current economic driver, it's a history. We still have a train, so that's okay, but that's the business, now we have doubled up on the mining aspect. Yeah. We're flanked by
What?
mining, we have a guy with a pig, and then we have a silver car. So.
I'm wondering if we're looking at Idaho Springs, I don't know, I should have printed it out, but Idaho Springs is seal and looking at others, they've really stuck with just one concept for their seals. And it's been more of the mining base just because that's how they're founded, but you know, there's mountains and then miners, or there's a lot of towns I've noticed have just been more simplified with theirs, and so I'm wondering how the commission feels about maybe if we just kind of stick to one or two concepts, and that will help kind of negate some of those.
I mean, I like the fact that we bighorn sheep, to like, you know, it's natural wildlife, I like that bighorn sheep is different looking than our parks and wildlife. I think there's other ways of doing that other than what we have here. I think Georgetown specifically having the towers, like, is very unique for any other community in the mountains in general. And mountains always kind of signifies that we're not Georgetown, East Coast. Or Texas.
Yeah, I think, with the mining figure, the man with the pick, right away that reminded me of the county seal. It has a similar figure. And then I'm looking over the shoulder of Anna Lee at Idaho Springs, and it's reminiscent of that too. So if we want to distinguish ourselves, not separate ourselves, but distinguish ourselves from those two, I would say drop the mining. You know, I think history is a good thing to keep. I think the locale, like the mountains, is a good thing to keep. And the other thing that people cannot compete with is only here is we have the largest free range herd of bighorns in North America. So I think that's super important to keep.
It's just a state now.
So.
It's working on bighorn. However,
Yeah, go ahead.
Clear Creek County is the beginning of mining in Colorado. We're the beginning of.
Yeah.
We're the beginning of Gold Rush, which is Idaho Springs. We are the Silver Rush, which is.
Correct? Yes.
For the Silver Queen. We also are we also have the first local history organization in the state of Colorado. We have one of the first National Historic Landmark districts in the country, I think, if not the first, one of the first and the largest. Heritage tourism is one of our biggest financial drivers and has been since the 1870s. I think that ignoring the fact that we are the National Historic Landmark District is, even though I understand that we're moving into a future, and sometimes I have questions about the destruction of the national environment with what we, you know, with the things that we've done, but it's the same with the built environment. However, it is who we are, it is part of our draw. Because even though people are going and hiking this stuff, they're using all the mining trails, they're using all these things that we did, right? And we have the Santiago Mill up there at 12,500 feet, which is a draw in the Waldorf Basin. So I wonder if eliminating that, and this is a seal, it's not a marketing thing, so. I mean, I don't even know if this should be pushed over to just the spike. So while I think it's great, I think that it would behoove us to really think 15 times about eliminating our historic portion of our seal and who we represent. And then I will send you a list of exactly why I don't think this is like rocking.
Please do.
And it speaks to Annalee's eliminated detail.
Do we want to replace the mining on the sea with maybe like the Hotel de Paris?
No,
I think keep it more simple, I mean,
Right.
like a couple things, so.
I just a couple of comments. I think acknowledging our heritage tourism is a component in our history in that regard is essential. And so, and I'm not looking at the seal right now. I'll point out that I think that's essential. I like the bighorn sheep for all the reasons that have been stated, although I think that helps define our natural environment component. I think third, if we're, and I get eliminating detail, but I think acknowledging that a very, very, very significant driver economically for this community now and in the past has been recreation tourism as well. And so if we're eliminating, say, the miner with the pick, because we don't want to mimic Idaho Springs and Clear Creek County, which I'm totally agree with. I think it's an overused icon, quite frankly. Acknowledging it through some kind of skiing icon would maybe be appropriate to acknowledging the significance of the ski industry and the development of the more contemporary development of Georgetown, and recreation tourism in general as an current economic driver.
good point, Fred.
Yeah.
Okay,
Quick question, are we eliminating also the mining cart as well, or do we want to just eliminate all of the mining aspects on there? I can put the skiing, I could see making work. And then we do have the hose tower for historical, but should it be maybe part of the streetscape or?
one thing that I said in the meeting last time, and I don't know if this would complicate things or solve things, because the seal is circular, and because there's sort of a border, it reminds me of a pan that people would use for placer mining. So if we could make the circle into, it reads as a mining pan, then that covers mining.
Okay, yeah,
So and because what you're showing is tunnel mining, that comes later, we started with placer mining.
The reason of that, we are the Silver Queen of the Rockies, is placer mining did not work here.
I'm not talking about the success of it, I'm talking about.
I think it's historically inaccurate, Kevin.
It's not inaccurate.
And if I were to vote for that, I would be drummed out of town. I think the card's great with the ski instead of the guy.
okay.
Moving forward, do we want to continue to have this on the agenda, or do you want Keith to make the changes and let the Board of Selectmen do a work session on it?
I think we could do another pass at it.
Yeah, I think if we can record the comments that were made in this meeting, by the commission members, and share those with the selectmen, so they kind of know our background. That might help them out coming to a decision.
Okay.
Okay, and Angela, go ahead, please.
You need to use the full.
I had an agreement with like what you guys were saying, I think in general, just simplify. And I actually like all the different elements, it tells a story.
Yeah.
I think Idaho Springs doesn't tell much of a story, I'm not a big fan of theirs, so I don't think we should be drawing off of it. But all your line work on here, just like even round things out and like take all this detail out and simplify that, because most likely it's gonna be at like an inch. You're gonna lose all this detail. I think mining is great because we are the Silver Queen, we tell that story constantly, and so I think this is kind of like, the seal is a historical piece that we represent. I was gonna say recreational is a big thing, we're trying to push more and more. Get more out.
That's a great observation.
I was gonna say even a hiker, like showing that if the skier doesn't work, just showing that options, but like, yeah, all your detail, just take it down. And the Bighorn sheep, I think what's like looking European is just the fact that there's more angularity in your design. Like round out the ears, take all the detail of the front of the face. And like take the detail, like some of the detail out of the brand forms. I think that will help.
Okay. Do we want to have Silver Queen term on it or not?
You know,
To me, I say that's a slogan, and so I would say no.
No?
Yeah, because this is a visual representation. I think we can market Silver Queen of the Rockies through slogans
Okay,
and jingles.
I'll have this revised for the next meeting.
And Angela said what I thought of, that's, she articulated exactly what I was trying to.
Yeah.
It's all round, it's more rounded, and then you have all those beautiful crisp details there. That's what it's doing.
Okay.
And, and to Angela's point too, Isabel Bird wrote a book about coming up here to take a horse and to hike in 1870, so. That's part of our history. And skiing, Craig's father is a big part of that, and skiing in the state has been going on for nearly a century or longer, so. It's part of who we are, so I think that, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, good discussion, people. Thank you. Website proposal overviews.
Yes, so, the commission has talked in the last a couple meetings ago about redoing the website, looking at it. I did reach out to Bullfinch, they are not willing to help us anymore. So if we are going to do a complete, or not able, I don't wanna say not willing, they are not able to help us. And so we looked into options, and so if the commission, we are not budgeted for this year, but moving forward, we will be in the next couple of meetings, looking at our budget, looking at our priorities for that, and so we want to look at these and narrow down what the commission's priorities are as far as the website goes. We have some issues on the current website that I'm gonna try and work through this week as well. But that being said, if we want to overhaul, if we want to kind of look at some other municipalities. Okay, great, thank you.
She's quitting.
He's switching to his phone.
Okay, thanks.
But. So we went in with looking at all of the options that we could as far as, do we want to just maintain the website we have now and move forward and try and change up some things? Or do we want to completely scratch and start new? So these are all of the options that we have. We got proposals from multiple companies. Let me pull up the list really quick. It was presented to us in one of the meetings to look at Frozen Fire, so we did look at them and get a pitch from them. We also looked at other options in other municipalities' tourism websites. So my proposal to the commission would be to narrow these down into 3 options. We can invite them to come to a future meeting, and then we can prioritize from there, as well as look at maybe budget proposals. If we do wanna completely do an overhaul, we can propose that we get the money for that in our next budget. So we can just run through them. I can give you the overview. The proposals are in your packets. So starting off, and you can tell me, interrupt me if I need to slow down. Frozen Fire. We met with them, Dennis Kasia and I did, and got their proposal. It's in your packet. I will say, you know, the monetary and financial piece to this is pretty in line with a lot of, or some of the other proposals that we got. However, a lot of my concern, in my opinion, with them, theirs wasn't very focused on SEO build, you know, being Georgetown, there's like 1 million Georgetowns that we have to kind of combat that with. On SEO. They really were focused on the previous development of websites in Idaho Springs, and so I would caution that there might not be a lot of character and development separate from kind of being grouped into that. That being said, like I say, they do seem to be willing to kind of help us hub and start up with any ideas that we have that are unique to our tourism webpage, but I don't know the maintenance, their focus doesn't seem to be as much on the maintenance beyond that. So Any questions on the frozen fire pitch?
And we are expecting that there'll be presentations similar to what Tyler and Emily did today.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm just going to admit this packet is so dense with information.
So much.
Very overwhelming.
So my proposal would be that we just overview right now, and then if you wanna send me an email, everybody wants to send me an email with who they'd like to see more from, then I can condense those.
Okay. Okay, how many candidates are in this packet today?
I believe 5.
Okay, and you're looking for a top 3?
Yes.
Okay, commission members, did you hear that?
There are 5, we're supposed to give her a list of the ones I want to see in the future.
Yes, and then she will line up those presentations similar to what we saw from Axe today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm just giving you context around these proposals.
Got it,
right
thank you,
now.
that takes the pressure off, because it's.
Sorry, yeah, it is a lot.
We can talk about each one.
The Pancake Digital is who Wolfench, who we have now referred us to. It's one single person. His name is Jason. I would imagine that his, or from my understanding, his is very similar to kind of what we've got with Wolfench. He seems very knowledgeable, but if we want to integrate things like interactive maps and stuff like that, that would be something that I would caution to pick just one person for, just because, that capacity might be smaller with one person as opposed to a team. But he seems very knowledgeable, and like I said, he was the referral from our current website provider.
And I'll chime in, Bullfinch does, Hotel de Paris Museum's website, and they've been beyond excellent for me.
Okay, sorry,
Okay, am I good to? Simple View is the next one. They have multiple layers to their business. They do the Estes Park website, which is how I found them. They have kind of the ability to meet us where we're at and for kind of the more interactive piece to a website. Theirs is not typical WordPress type of setup or layout. They have like a CRM that we can document interactions with. Our businesses can update their own information, but we have to approve it on our end. So our businesses can't just put stuff up. So there's a lot more, I think, user friendly and options for our businesses as well with them. They also have a side of their company that is municipality based. So if we ever opted to include or update the municipality side, it would all be held under one place.
And that has come up, Mike is a big proponent of having one website.
It doesn't
So,
have to be one website, just one front facing website and then a link to the government site. The government site, not to Uber or Succeed. The SEO.
I would say, commission members, when we talk to the 3 people or 3 firms that are going to present, that we bring that up.
and
See how they feel about it.
I will say for this one, they do have a completely separate side for that. So even if we didn't have those websites integrated at all, they still, there just would be potential there for further involvement on the government side as well. They are much more costly because they offer that CRM and stuff like that. So that is something that I would take into consideration here. All of that information is in your packet. They are very integrated into multiple Colorado tourism web pages and municipality web pages. So I would just go in being aware that the financial investment's a lot larger with this one.
So, and they're working with Google Maps and stuff like that.
Yes, and they're very integrated with a lot of different things. And so this is one that I think would give us a lot more freedom to integrate different things into our website, but again, with that comes the money. Okay, Thrive Engine
Oh, yeah.
should be next. This one's pretty straightforward. He provided, and I can forward the links to some websites for them as well, and I'll send a recap of all of this, like I said. I'm not expecting a lot of decisions today, but Thrive Engine is a smaller company as well. They don't have all of the bells and whistles that like Simpleview does, but they do seem very knowledgeable about the SEO and battling the AI with Google and ChatGPT and all of those things and making sure that they are up to speed with that and that the website is as up to date with that as possible. They seem very invested in kind of integrating into the community and making sure that it's a reflection of the perception that we want to provide for people. And finally, Westward. Westward is, I think basic kind of has a negative connotation in some of these, but it is probably the most basic out of all of these. It's a WordPress template that they would just, so it would be very similar to what we have now, but they would just integrate with our stuff now. It is the least expensive option because of that. So we've kind of got like the very basic to middle to.
Yeah, I'm actually more inclined to push towards a WordPress style.
Okay.
Go basic as possible. Oh, yeah, no one uses websites anymore, really.
Not true.
Seriously. We use Google and other services. We just wanted it to work. And we wanted to represent. And we had future control of it.
I thought that people didn't like print either. Well, we have future control, we have semi-future control now, and then look at the situation we're in Quagmire, you can't even get onto our website, you can't find anything, and everybody's really mad about it but we know what we could do if we could do it, right?
If we just get someone who can even just, but we don't have to redo it or just work with the website that we have, just tap into all the areas that we don't have access to.
I think this is great.
Skills to deal
I
with.
think once we hear their pitches, it'll be really fun to talk about with everybody, because I also think that we were just talking to some guy that wants us to invest at least $10,000 as a basic startup for like 3 things that he can do for us that might potentially get us into an app that people have to go to when one of these things integrates with Google and integrates with Google Maps, integrates with multiple municipalities, integrates with multiple state organizations, and would lead us into partially what it would be a secondary tourism director.
This is their website.
Which is not web directed, that means if you're on
I
it,
lost control of their original website. They have
What is
it.
this?
This is the presentation today.
oh, I'm not worried about them.
Good.
Oh, they're probably watching, I'm sorry, what's our other? But my point is, we're talking about that, and that's $10,000, but for $23,000. We could be on an organization that takes you off just your desktop. If anybody still has one, to your phone. Like, and they have Raleigh under their belt and other cities like that. Anyway, I'll send you my 3 things, everybody's looking at their phone, and it's just my plan.
I will say,
Yeah, just shut it down.
over, from what I've looked at in this website, over 60% of people are still going to websites. They might go through a search engine, but they are still going to websites. So I do want to be cautious of that going in. I understand that some perceptions might vary, but I think understanding that piece, that websites are still somewhat being visited, especially with our demographic being kind of that older demographic, I just want to be cautious of that.
And commission members, the other thing is that can also be something that is asked of the candidates who will do the proposal. We could lead with our website's dead and see how they feel that, so.
I literally, I'm using my phone, but like, I'm going to Las Vegas in a couple weeks. And then we're going to Springs, right? And so the one hotel I use, they only have a website. And I'm certainly not looking for Google because that's a third party. And then the other one, I start a website and then I go to my app because I have status. But I always started a website to see where it is. And when I'm looking for flights, I start with a Google search and then I go, if I have an app, I do it, but sometimes I'm using my computer there.
Okay, so yes, if you'll send me, each of you will send me and I'll send a reminder email, of the 3 narrowed down once you've looked at the proposals, just let me know. And let me know kind of what your thoughts are on each of them, please.
All right. Let's move on to charrette plan discussion.
You like that, I mean.
Yeah, yes, got it.
He is over remote.
We have another person.
It's Craig.
Craig signing in on this
I'm
one.
just making a set up an audience member.
Moving around. Okay. All right, direct plan discussion, who's leading this?
This is, last month we opted to move forward with the charrette for the archway. The town would like to schedule that for July 9th, so next week, so we'd like to send out notices this week, letting everybody know that, and we also would like to include the signage action plan, just a quick overview of that. For that, we will do it in the community center. Wondering the commission's thoughts, any priorities that the commission has for that discussion, so that we can have materials prepared.
Anybody?
I think the charrette would be great, and I think that we should move forward with the signage thing to show people about the whole proposal.
You wanna do it all in one?
And then we're putting that together with the s'mores. Doing the s'more.
We're doing what with the s'mores?
No, I brought the s'mores, when I was showing you my thing.
If we can have s'mores there if you want.
Yes, and now, please. I mean, let's vote, just vote, this is on you though.
Nope, yep, this is on the town, so we just want to know if if anybody would like anything specific, or if we're good to just move forward with the basic plans being amended.
Angela does.
Yeah, I'll call in Angela again, because Angela has been a big part of how we got to, this idea of a charrette. Yes, go.
So for July 9th, do we have a time? Because I need to know. Yeah, if, I would like to attend for sure.
Yes.
And there's certain times I can't attend.
I think,
Oh, the ninth.
For Thursday.
yeah, we're planning on like a 6 p.m., a 5 or a 6 p.m. Would that work, or do we need to reschedule?
I will not be able to attend,
I was trying to get Glenwood Spring.
but that's, you don't have to have me.
Could we do the 15th? Would Wednesday the 15th at 5 or 6 p.m. work for everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, I could do that.
The 15th.
It would work, Mike?
Yep.
Okay,
Mr.
I haven't gotten permission for the ninth. Yeah, there's.
Okay.
15th, Angela with the 15th.
Yeah,
Miss
the
Massey.
15th works.
Okay, do we wanna do a 5:30, split the difference and go 5:30 to 6:30?
Sure, okay, there we go.
Okay, we will get those notices sent out, and then I will be in touch with both Mike and Angela too, to work out some of those presentations.
We said 15th, right?
Yes.
Where are we doing it here?
Community center.
That's what you said, that's
Yeah,
right.
5:30. Okay, great, okay, that's done. Signage action plan discussion.
So that was one.
No, no, there's more.
Two.
Sorry.
And so, Angela, at the floor, this is your expertise.
Okay, well, I gave a thorough overview. I don't want to go through the entire presentation again, because that is a chunk of time, and I don't want to take everyone this time more. But I want a thorough overview of how I do think it's very necessary that we do have a master plan for signage moving forward, because we need to start looking at our town as a whole. We've grown a lot in the last few years. We have two different sides of town, and I think they need to start being connected together, working together. We gotta work more as like a whole community. And also when you're coming into town, just to really help that visitor experience and giving the visitors options of where to go. And I think it's something that will definitely increase, foot traffic, the like economic, value of town. Cause one of the biggest things that we constantly get is no one really knows where anything is. And I think it's gonna really help identify our place and give some more place making to our place, make it feel more special, make it feel more like this, this is the identity of Georgetown.
And so just to clarify, this will be included in the charrette. We're gonna talk about the signage action plan, and we're gonna talk about the gateway arch. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
For this, the town would really like to know what the commission's priorities are from the signage plan, and everything that Angela presented last week, where cause I believe there was a portion of her presentation where she talked about maybe the starting point and where to prioritize. And so the town would like to know kind of where the priorities are from the commission, and maybe what area of town we'd like to really prioritize moving forward.
I think that's the purpose of the charrette. I think we'll walk out of there knowing what
Okay.
citizens want.
So I could provide boards and everything, that's what I've done with
Please.
typical public meetings, just large boards for people to comment on, post
Okay.
notes.
Okay.
We do like a lot of, we call it a dot exercise, where we provide yellow, red,
Yes.
orange,
Yeah.
green
Yeah.
dots, there's
Great.
green, grow, red is do not do this.
Yeah, great. Yes, please let's do that. Yeah, look, there's no point leaving this gathering without knowing a direction. So let's please collect people's thoughts, opinions, positions, whatever you want to say. Because this is what we need to report back to the town, with what direction we're going.
We have easels, or do I need to bring those?
Yeah, we have some, if you just let me know how many you need, and then we can figure it out from there.
Okay.
Sweet.
And then the goal is to try for like, because they were looking for what we wanted.
Yes.
So it's all business to the south of town, all of it is what we're trying to do.
It's all,
He's not listening anyway.
That was for Fred's benefit. Okay, sounds like we've got a plan.
Bigger cookies and plans that we all benefit and all boats rise.
Yes, okay. Okay, folks, we're gonna wrap it up here in just a few minutes. Commission member comments, anything additional? Now's your time.
The old school is sold to the. Did you ever have that? Sorry.
no.
Just banners.
It's just a comment. The old school,
Civilized.
the old school is now, part of the Clear Creek County Library District system. We are waiting to find out if we're doing plein air at the community center. We'll still work on it if we are, it's just hard for us. Or if we're gonna go back to the old school for it, for this year. We are part of the general thing. I am torn because I kind of like the idea of all of it being together. So, but at the same time, it's a long run for a short slide. And then you will find after the school is done, that the Georgetown Trust with its partners and all of you will still be doing arts programming at the library with the district. And so thank you for that.
Very true. Greg,
Oh, and there's a new business, it's doing a soft opening on Saturday. And it's called Mahaney Fine Goods. And it will have upper scale gentlemen's and ladies and sort of 19th century-esque items that will last forever.
where's it located?
It is located at 614 Towel Street.
Can you spell the title?
Mahaney, Mahany, and sometimes people put an E in there, but it's not right.
Thank you.
Fine goods. And then we'll be selling leaves, Scandinavian jellies and cheese. I'll be doing paninis. And then I'm doing arts and murals.
It's located directly behind Happy Cooker. Okay, Craig, do you have any final thoughts, sir? You
I do
don't
not.
have to. Okay, are we good?
I'm good.
Okay, right on, okay. Staff update.
Yeah, so the tourism booklet has not had any, they've made progress behind the scenes, but we haven't seen any drafts yet, so we're still in a standstill. I got a notice, from the county on that, and they are working on that. Hopefully we'll have a draft soon, but I'm not positive what the timeline's looking like now.
Is that an evergreen sort of thing, or does it have an end date? The booklet, is it just for 2026 or does it?
So there's multiple pieces to the grant. It would go beyond hopefully this initial one. They had a time frame that I don't know that we're going to meet their suggested time frame. But as far as there's multiple pieces to the grant, so we can apply to get, the next one would be like a digital passport, stuff like that.
So was there or is there a launch date for this, or is that up in the air?
There was, but now it's up in the air.
Okay, so the launch date is behind us or in front of us still?
I believe it's coming up, so it would still be in front of us, but I don't know that we're
Be able to make
gonna
that.
be able to make it,
Got it,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
And that's dependent on the individuals involved as far as the
Understood.
pictures and the graphic design
Yes,
stuff.
yeah, you're a contributor, but this is the County Tourism Bureau's project, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
got it, thank you.
Social media analytics, we did run some ads for 4th of July. We ran those on like the schedule of events and stuff like that. We've been creating content. We've tried to collaborate a little bit more on content as well. Ad overview, we ended up with 10K views. And of those, just over 400 visited our website to look at the details. We've really been trying to drive traffic back to the events calendar or the events listing on those websites. And so far we've seen some pretty good success. We are meeting our target demographics for those specific ads, families in the Denver metro area, stuff like that, just to bring people up and get away from the heat as well. Facebook, we saw a 25% increase in views on our Facebook page from the previous month. We've got 55K views going right now. We did post mainly photos this month, not to say that we didn't post reels and stuff like that. And we did have some changes as far as, we got town phones, so now we're able to do a little bit more with that content too, since we're not having to work off of personal devices. Like I say, we did do a collaborative effort with Cabin Creek, and we included other businesses on that to emphasize the free parking. Our most popular Instagram post was the free parking graphic. So that seems to be working. We have heard some feedback from business owners that people are being driven this way because of the free parking initiative. So that's a positive for sure. That being said, from there, we're working on communications plan. I'm working on meeting with different companies right now for a texting service for the municipal side of things. So the public information side, we're working on that. And I'm meeting with them, and then in conjunction with that, we're working on our communications plan for the town as well. So those are things that are on my list. Obviously, right now, it feels like 4th of July is taking over everything, as it should be, since we only have 3 days. So I'm collaborating with Road and Bridge. Is actually, they built frames to go in the roundabout for vertical banners that will be going up. I will get those today. They've been printed. And so we're really prioritizing using that space wisely, but making it look nice. And finally, Slacker recap. I've gotten some feedback from some business owners on concerns that they had with traffic management, stuff like that. So I would really like to add that to the next agenda, as I can kind of condense those and get them all written up and make sure that you all have that. We can kind of maybe brainstorm some ideas. I know the CCMRD team really wanted to keep people at their event, but then maybe looking at moving forward better ways that we can prioritize making sure that people can still get down here, even though the Slacker is going on, stuff like that too, outside of Slacker traffic. But yeah, so I will add that to the next agenda and have more of a formal feedback plan for you all. Any questions for my report?
Mr. Boat?
You don't have a feedback report from Slacker fully?
Not yet, no.
Okay, because I'm fasting with that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then, never mind, because I totally forgot it, I'm gonna use Chevy.
And Angela, final thoughts?
I'll ask Elaine.
To go back to item number 2 on the list, in order to be considered for a commissioner for VPC, would I need to make a formal request through
Yes.
writing?
Yes.
You just write a note and say, I want to be.
Yeah.
And if you wanna go into like how important you are, you can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to formally express interest. Formally looks like one sentence in an email to the Board of Selectmen, is that correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
So it's not to VPC for a selectman?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yes.
because they're the ones who vote.
I do believe now we're looking at alternates, because we
Yeah.
have we have the 2 that were
Yeah.
just approved, so we'll be for an alternate.
Yeah.
but alternates stay up here quite frequently because some people don't show up.
Yeah, and so it's important that alternates still attend. Because, right, like today, we had quorum, then we didn't, then we did, and that happened in a couple of meetings recently because we're so thin, but now we're staffing up. And so that's really good.
But you don't have to, so you find out.
But you should,
Stay home.
but you should, because you should attend, even if your vote is not needed. Because in the future, you will understand what we're talking about, how we got to that point. And so it's very important to attend.
And alternates can speak, correct?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm reading between the lines. You know somebody who's going to express interest.
I know somebody who's on.
Okay, good. We would like to have some depth of support, especially from somebody who's well informed, so that's great. Good, thank you. Okay,
Oh, I do remember, it's just a statement, I'm getting asked a lot, and something that we're telling people a lot is that parking is free here, and I think it's because every municipality in the country now is starting to charge for parking.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal, so I think that we who has to put it on our advertising.
Yeah, and we are really
I think
prioritize.
you're already doing it, but I think it's like, I know you're doing it, but it's
Yeah.
like huge, like it's to the point that it's weird, like it's free.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
So, well, especially with
Sure.
surrounding municipalities, closer to Denver, I think it was easy once for them to pitch that they had free parking and now they don't, and so people are kind of moving up the mountain, and so we wanna capitalize on that for sure.
It's weird.
All right, folks, do we have a motion to adjourn?
And
It is
35.
9:35. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
all right, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Gentlemen?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, thank you, folks. And we did it before the big alarm, the big siren.
We're about to say that we have to run on Robert's rules, and Robert's rules say that alternates do not have the right to speak unless they wish to designate that. Didn't fill in. It also says that alternates are not required to do.
I think they should go. Because that way you can.
Oh,
If
thank
you
you.
have to vote, you're not gonna
Okay.
be.
No, it's good anyway, because even though I was,
Thank you so
to
much.
meetings, I was on call.
So, yeah, so